The New York Knicks did it again in game two. And I can sit here as a Celtics fan and have a bevy of reasons why they choked. But let's talk about the other side of the New York Knicks' resiliency, their fight, and they never freaked out, even when the Celtics had their moments where they got up 20 points, where they got it to 15 to 16 points in that fourth quarter. The Knicks kept making run after run after run. A telling story about this game was the beginning of the second quarter. The reason I'm bringing up the second quarter is because Boston got off to a great start, 26 to 13. The next sequence was so impressive to me from Karl Anthony Towns, driving to the basket, not settling for 3-point shots. Again, we're not talking about this enough from Cat this year. He's not settling for jump shots. He's playing bully ball. He had some key and ones. I know the Celtics built a lead after this moment, but it showed the Knicks that we are going to fight all night long. We know the Celtics will make their runs, but we're going to stay in this no matter what. And the reason I love Karl Anthony Towns, because look at this. Let's bring up the whole entire game for Cat. 1 3-point attempt. In the past, the narrative about Cat is he doesn't get in the post enough. He takes too many threes. In this game, 17 rebounds. That's a big man for you. 21 points. He had a big tip in layup, I think, to make it 86-85. And I know people want to talk about the Celtics threes where they got down to 40 attempts. So I'm happy with that because I hate seeing them take over 40 plus. They didn't do that last year in their run to the NBA Finals. Another problem is Jason Tatum. We got to talk about it. 26% from the field. That's disgusting. It's inexcusable. Now, there was a moment in the third quarter where Tatum got a pull-up three, and he also got a driving dunk. At this moment, I thought he needs the ball either scoring or assisting, and that didn't happen on the following possession. In fact, you look at the possessions. Derek White 3-point shot. Tatum missed a driving layup. Jaylen Brown turnover. Holiday running layup. And notice how Tatum didn't get a shot until the next moment, 7 minutes, 34 seconds. I thought Tatum should have had the ball more in his hands at times, especially when he was getting his game going. But he disappears yet again. It's frustrating as a Celtics fan, especially when you expect him to do more. And if he's quote unquote your best player, that's not going to cut it. Jalen Brunson didn't even shoot well tonight, but he was big in the fourth quarter. He showed up when the Knicks needed him. He hit those free throws down the stretch to make it 91-90. Tatum, where was he? And it's becoming alarming at this point. We could say, oh, he got the championship last year. Awesome. You got to do it again. You want to be in these conversations, top 5 convos. I still think he's top 5. You got to show up. You can't disappear. I don't want to hear the wrist injury. I don't want to hear the excuses. We're not doing that. If you don't play well, it's not an excuse for me. The New York Knicks deserve a ton of credit. Imagine you are losing to a team 8 straight times and you go into their building and shock the world. I mean, this is a huge upset, but also it's basketball. You know, in the playoffs, anything can happen. It starts at 0-0, no matter what happens in the regular season. Look what's transpiring in the Pacers-Cavs series. I know the Cavs are going through injuries, but Indiana's up 2-0. We're about to see the Knicks and Pacers potentially in the Eastern Conference Finals. You know, with the Boston Celtics, their process on offense, I thought it wasn't bad tonight. They were attacking. They were going after the mismatches. You know, Tatum had some mid-range jumpers that just didn't go in, didn't finish at the rim, missing layups again. Players had that throughout the roster. But again, we got to give credit to the Knicks. Look at this rebounding advantage. 46. I'm sorry, it was 50. So 51-46 Boston. And again, like Josh Hart, I can't say enough about him. Played with a ton of energy. And he was constantly hustling. What I love about the New York Knicks is they were running in transition on almost every Boston 3-point attempt. That's impressive stuff. So they put the pressure on Boston's defense, so they couldn't set up to get guys in place. The start of the fourth quarter was another telling sign. Mikal Bridges had 0 points. We go to the fourth quarter. 14 big buckets. Showed up when they needed him. And Brunson, 9 points. Look at Tatum, 4 points. It's not going to get done. And at this point, when it comes to the Celtics, I know people are saying, well, don't give up in them yet. You know, we can't forget about the Miami Heat, the Sixers, disasters. They came back and fought hard. I just don't see it as a Celtics fan. Gonna be completely honest with you guys. It's not me being, a prisoner of the moment. It just feels like this series is over. And maybe they get a game in New York. I don't know. It just feels like they're running out of gas. You look at the Porzingis situation, people say he's sick, he doesn't look aggressive enough. He was solid tonight, but he doesn't look the same guy. And then your best player looks rattled. The Knicks were doing a great job switching, and they gave him space, and they dared him to shoot a three. He didn't do it. He overthought things all night long. Credit to the Knicks defense. The schemes by Thibodeau, I can't say enough about him switching. He didn't play drop coverage to start the series. Credit to Tibbs. And the Knicks fans out there, you guys deserve this. I'm not here to make excuses for my team. The Knicks have been really good. You're down 20 points. I think I saw a stat, the first team ever since 96, 97 to go up 20 points in 2 games and lose both of them in the playoffs. Back to back, by the way, in Boston, out of all places. The Celtics are funny to me when it comes to their home court advantage. They love losing at home. So maybe they go on the road and they turn things around. I just have a hard time believing that. And that's not me being negative. I just think the Knicks have so much momentum and they're playing with house money. And I do believe in game 3, if the Celtics don't get off to a good start and the Knicks go up by more than 5 points, they're going to blow them out. I really believe that. And they deserve all the love in the world. I know they were heavy underdogs, and it's understandable. When you beat a team 8 times in a row, the way Boston beat them in the regular season, you understand why they were underdogs. But it's the NBA. That's why we play in the playoffs, best of 7. You just never know. Kudos to the Knicks. I just love what they did. Cat was just phenomenal. He's been great all series. He's driving to the post, not settling for 3-point shots, and he's just playing within the flow of the offense. Josh Hartman's hustle. Can't say enough about that. Of course, Jalen Brunson in the fourth quarter. Just phenomenal stuff. And he didn't have his best game tonight. And just the adversity he had to overcome. Like, imagine you get wiped off the floor by OKC, Cleveland, and Boston all year long. You go into the playoffs and you do this. That's the heart of a champion. And I'm rooting for the Knicks. I really am. I hope they can get, and I say that because I'm a Red Sox fan, so I know what it's like to lose for so long and finally overcome. I don't watch as much baseball as I used to because I just don't care. And the Red Sox have won 4 titles, and they're straight dog water. And I don't really care much about baseball anymore like I used to. But again, the Knicks deserve all this going on. And if the Celtics get swept, we're gonna have some hard conversations about the makeup of this roster. Have to have some hard conversation about their philosophy with living and dying by a 3-point shot, especially when Tatum, he goes through streaks where he's really hot and he goes through streaks where he's really cold. And it's a pattern. Like, he'll start the regular season on a hot streak, but we get to January and February and the percentages start to dip. And now we're seeing it full-fledged in the playoffs. I think Tatum's got to change his approach. It's that simple. You don't need to be jacking up so many threes. Let's go back to the stats real quick. I wanted to see the numbers by Tatum, how many threes he took tonight. And we'll wrap it up soon. Tatum took five threes. Okay, that's not bad. I like that shot diet, by the way. I want to see him at 5 to 7 3-point attempts a game. I also want to see the Celtics at no more than 40 3-point attempts a game. That's a good shot profile. But again, they did have some open looks. They missed them. However, Tatum has got to do better. It's really that simple. We can talk, he had 14 rebounds, 5 assists. Great. You got to get a bucket. You see Mikal Bridges outplaying you in the fourth quarter. Jalen Brunson outplayed you in the fourth quarter. Mikal Bridges is not better than Jason Tatum, but he played better. Can't say enough. And also, he had some pull-up mid-range shots. Like, I don't see that enough from Tatum. And I just get so frustrated with him. I really do, because I see the potential. I see, like, when he's actually going downhill, you're like, man, the guy's unstoppable. Why doesn't he do this more often? So is it a combination of Tatum just settling and a combination of Joe Mazzulla's coaching? Probably. But let's not forget, the New York Knicks are playing awesome basketball. And this is a huge moment for the Knicks because going to this second round, you're like, okay, you're probably expecting to lose in 5 games. Understandable. But to be up 2-0 with this roster, the roster that was supposed to compete with Boston after the regular season they just had against them, to go up and go into Boston, they have done a great job. Knicks in the conference finals, we better get ready for that. And if I'm wrong, I'll come back on here again and say, wow, Boston turned around. I just don't see it. That's the reality I'm living with, and I'm okay with it. I'm going to be wrong about predictions, and I have no problem, with the Knicks having success because they've been through so much ups and downs and injuries. I remember last year against the Pacers, they should have been in the Eastern Conference Finals last year, and then injuries derailed them. But shout out to the Knicks. You guys deserve a ton of credit for how you're playing in this series, and all I gotta say is Celtics, yikes, not a good look. Hope you guys enjoyed this video today. Love to hear your thoughts about the New York Knicks winning Game 2 in Boston. Do you expect this series to be over in Madison Square Garden, or do you expect the Celtics to turn things around and still win the series? Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.